Hello, welcome to Floyd Models Kit View Time. Today we've got Tamiya's latest release. This is the 1/48 scale Spitfire Mk1. And we've been waiting for this kit for quite a while. And it's nice to see that Tamiya have brought this one along. You see, beautiful box art, the usual Tamiya way of doing these ones. All right, so we can see down in here, 1/48 scale, wingspan 23 centimeters, fuselage length 19 centimeters. And it's got lots of various bits and pieces we haven't seen before on a kit. Usual run round on the box, so we've got something down there from 65 Squadron. So obviously being an early Spitfire, around about the late 30s on this one. So you see kit number for this one is 119. Nice and straightforward. And we've got another one there from 1940. Okay, and some things. So without further ado, let's dive straight in to the box. Lovely presentation as always, grease here. So we've got a couple of baggies down in there. We have got a nice bit of Photo-etch we can see, and we've got instructions, got a mask set, some various other bits and pieces down in there just like that. Okay, so starting in the old instructions, I thought it was a polite instructions then. So as we can see, it is that usual way with Tamiya. Okay, so we've got three versions down in here. So we've got 610 Squadron, we've got 65 Squadron, and then we've got 19 Squadron. Okay, different markings on those ones, so keep an eye out as usual things for your calls. Okay, and then straight into it. So we've got a little bit of removal it's calling out for. They're doing this new way of having the sprue pegs attach the part, which is very nice, and don't get me wrong, I think it's very welcome. It's just that, you know, they can do that, but ejector pins everywhere. Anyway, down inside the cockpit walls going on, again, beautifully detailed right the way through, and then up onto these fuselage halves. Okay, we've got the oxygen bottles being installed in there. Then we've got the sides being fitted in as a whole. Again, a nice way of doing it, putting those all in. And then obviously you're going to be painting and adding all your detail as you go right the way through. Okay, and then obviously down in the back area as well, we've got more oxygen bottles down in the back there, some of the levers and the mechanics and things like that all being fitted down into there. Down at the bottom, we've got the actual rudder pedals assembly being put on. Again, we've got a little bit of Photo-etch, which is going to make up the toe loops. Which again, nice touch as well. And then we've got the compass down in there. And then instrument panel with the fascia being put in there for the bulkhead. Okay, and then all the little parts being added on. We've got the seat, all the details as it goes through. And again, more Photo-etch depending on which versions you're doing as well. Harnesses, we've got a pilot figure going in, another nice touch as well. And then all the parts coming together to make up the cockpit section. Cockpit section is going to be sandwiched in between. Again, highly detailed, a lot of stuff going down in there. Exhausts being fitted down onto those as well, so another nice touch. Okay, and then down into the front end, we are straight in. I missed a bit. Nope, that's right. We've actually got the exhaust being fitted down into there. Tailplane, there's a slot in the back. Another nice little touch with that one, so you won't have any alignment issues. Rudder being fitted in there, and again, that little bit of cleanup work. We've got the wheel wells and the actual one-piece underside of the wing section going down in there. Wheel wells as well being put together and then being installed in. We've got this bar going across for the actual makes up the wheel inside bits. You'll see about that in a moment. Okay, and then obviously all being sandwiched together. Control surfaces being put in, and then obviously tipping it up a little bit like the Mustang, the way that that all falls into the front. Then obviously we're down into the radiator. It's only got one radiator on this one, so we've actually got the radiator being fitted down into there as those ones go on just like that. And then we've got the gear, and this is one of the nice things about this kit. We saw this one when it was first released. It has, usually when you do a Spitfire, it's just got a couple of holes and you put them in, you have like an alignment problem. This way you've got this bar going across, so it's a one piece, so you've got perfect alignment and a stronger undercarriage, which again is a very nice touch with this one as it's being put together. Then you've got your plates going underneath there just like that. Wheels being fitted. Okay, then we've got the actual the air intake underneath there going in there. Masking up does come with a mask, but you are going to have to cut them yourself. They're not die cut, so those going in there. Then obviously got all the clear parts, gun sights, and the doors and canopy being fitted on there just like that. Prop itself being fitted down straightforward with a poly cap, and then we've got an aerial system going in. Again, nice little bit of Photo-etch going on there as well for your actual antenna aerial being fitted in. Couple of other ones. These are actually stickers which are going to put in basically a strengthening bar effect being fitted in there like that. And then obviously we've got the little nav lights being fitted on the sides. Pitot tubes underneath, obviously a choice of two, and then straight in to your stencil data. So there isn't many on there, but you have got those big old walkways to line up and put in. And then we've got the few on the other side. Really very nice indeed. So, got a little bit of bump all about the Spitfire itself. A few little reference pictures on there as well. We got the colour call out, which again, it's great little wall art as well. So that's standard sort of dark earth, dark green, and obviously the sky underneath. Okay, and then on this one we've got the same, but we've got that early night vision, identification mark of having the black and the white for easy recognition underneath before it got switched out. Okay, and then obviously we've got the grey under there as well. So those ones being fitted in, very nice indeed. Then we've got a few little bits here. So we can see we've got Photo-etch. So there's those harnesses, grills, all the little parts to make up some of the nice little details in for this little kit indeed. Then we've got the, just pop in here. Slightly different way they've done this one. There's me thinking, well, I won't need a knife because they staple everything. Okay, so down in here we've got the decals. Tamiya decals do tend to be a little bit on the thick side and got quite a lot of carrier film, as we can see in there. Okay, that is the only downside to Tamiya. Hopefully one day they'll get it right. Okay, but you can see lots of decals. No problem. Good solid colours. These are these stickers we were talking about, which are going to make up like a strengthening area. You've got things, and then obviously your mask set. But again, you do have to cut that out yourself. It's not going to come die cut like an Edard set. So into the bit. Where are we going to start? Let's start right here. Okay, so in standard Tamiya's plastic, a little bit soft, okay, but very nice textures all the way through. Very, very nice. We might as well just go straight to the close-up here. As you can see, beautiful, detailed. So we've got riveting, and we've actually got the sort of panel lines and all the areas right the way through. I'm just looking, I think that's just webbing in here. You can probably see it as well. I thought that seemed to have a little bulge in that, but actually it's got another one on this side, so I think it's supposed to be there. I just thought for a moment I had a little bit of a mismold. Okay, these are these side areas. Again, clever way of doing this. Obviously we can expect different versions of Spitfires coming out a little bit later on, so that's why they've done it that way. Okay, and on the other side, just like that. Onto the inside. Ejector pins, yeah, they're on there okay, but they all seem to be tucked out. There's nowhere in the way there, right the way in. Unfortunately, have got a few little ones just in amongst all of this, which again is a little bit unsightly. Okay, but generally looking very nice. So this is that wheel well detail we can see just down on the side here, and some of the smaller parts very nicely done. But it is this way now that parts are being fitted. This is what we're talking about. So you can cut them clean off, but then you have to sand them down. The only trouble is when you sand them, if you overdo it and you put a little dip in there, you get a little join mark in between. So I'm never sure which is the best way of doing it. Okay, that's that all important gear, one-piece gear. Okay, so you've got your alignment for your wheels. So no more what ifs about where the alignment and geometry, because Tamiya have taken care of all that right the way through. Okay, wing section. Okay, so we've got a couple of little polycaps, fair enough, and then straight down in here you can see beautiful details down underneath for this wing section. We've got the tops of the wings down there as well. Beautifully done. Now, I'm assuming, and I don't know, but these again, I'm being very hesitant here. I don't know if you can see them, but these here, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. But we've got an access port next to them. Are they access ports or are they ejector pins? They look too clean and crisp to be an ejector pin. I am assuming they're actually an access port underneath there. I can't imagine that they are. So I'm assuming they're supposed to be moulded in there. It's just that they look a little bit like it. But the ejector pins are all on the other side. So again, I'm just not too sure on those because they seem to be little cuts. I'm sure Tamiya knows what they're doing. And I'm sure somebody will point out to me exactly what that is. We've got the exhausts, very nicely done as well. And all the small parts, pitot tubes, things like that. We've got the prop, a little bit more well. We've got the spinner. We've got, again, a little bit basic, unfortunately. But that's basically easy replacement job with a little bit of Photo-etch down in there for the instrument panel, and then right the way across. Generally, no problem at all. Nice detail for the inside of the wheel well as well as it's going to sit in there. And again, we've got a little bit of detail down in here for the floor that you'll never see through. Okay. And then next up, we've got another busy sprue. So this is A, as you can see down in here. Some again, very, very nice. So we've got a lot of that bulkhead, the cockpit, all the smaller parts, oxygen bottles, everything for there. The figure looks absolutely beautifully done, very nicely done indeed. Okay, and all of these areas. We've got the wheels. And again, it doesn't look like we've got any weight on wheels at all. Again, I don't know, really. I thought we probably would get something in there, but never mind. And yeah, nice. Again, I'm not jumping up and down on this one because, I don't know, it's that thing with Tamiya, you always expect more and it to be perfect and brilliant and everything else. And don't get me wrong, the moulding, there's no burring on this whatsoever. You can't feel anything in there whatsoever. Okay, so generally, very, very nice indeed. Okay. Next up, we've got the clear parts. So different types of canopies and that, as I said, we know there's going to be different types of spits coming along. And we're just going to go for the usual check, and they are absolutely crystal clear. No problems with any of that. Armour glass on the front, these sections here, very, very nice. Yeah, no, they are beautifully done indeed. So there we go, there's your Spitfire. Again, I don't know if I'm slightly let down by it. Unfortunately, we don't get an engine. It would have been really nice if we had an engine, perhaps just something simple, a little bit like we saw with the 109, where you could pop it off and show it open or closed, but we don't, unfortunately. And again, a few little touches in there. I don't know, you're sort of left wanting more. You'd expect it to be perhaps just like a little bit more. It's a £31 kit, so it's not a cheap kit by a long stretch. You're paying almost £10 a sprue for it. But generally, the detail is beautiful. And if you want to do just a standard Spitfire 1/48 scale, this is where you're going to go because it is absolutely gorgeous. It's just that because there's so much attention to detail down in the cockpit, I thought that might then push on a little bit and have a nicely detailed engine. But unfortunately, no, we don't get one of those. But you know, again, you can't have everything, and obviously Tamiya's done their thing about where the price is, and that's what you're going to pay. But again, it's typical Tamiya. It's beautiful. You know it's going to be a dream fit. You know it's going to fall together and be fantastic. You know you're going to enjoy every single moment of the build. So everybody will rush out and they'll actually grab one. And I have to say, PM Store had them in stock, and we were given our allocation. We sold out in under 24 hours. That shows how popular this kit is, and now we're out of stock of them. But there's a good reason for that. It's a Spitfire. Who doesn't love a Spitfire? And Tamiya have now done a new one, so everybody's going to go out and get one. But again, I just feel I'm left a little bit wanting with this kit.